Hello, everyone. My name is Woody, and I'm the host of the Virtual Woody Variety Show. The Virtual Woody Variety Show is a live stream. Excuse me. Oh. The Virtual Woody Variety Show is a live stream show on Twitch that engages in casual conversations about ideas, creativity, and emerging tech. I get to talk to brilliant and insightful guests, and afterwards we play a unique in-show game show right here inside my Unreal Engine environment. For those of you who are new, we are recording live right now. If you have a question, leave it in the chat and we will get to it later before I force my guests into some interactive insanity. My guest tonight is Kana Fuyuko. Hold on, excuse me, my notes are misplaced. Interesting. My notes got put in the wrong spot. That's no fun. I had a thing all ready to read. I'm doing my best tonight. Some days we're just doing our best. You know what I mean, chat? Okay. We'll edit this out later. My guest tonight is Kana Fuyuko. She is a Blender artist, a Vtuber doctor. We'll talk about what that means. A motion capture enthusiast and a 3D generalist. Everybody, welcome in Kana Fuyuko. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Hi, everyone.
Off to a strong start here. What's got you so in stitches right now?
I'm sorry, it was just the introduction.
Oh my goodness, it's pretty scuffed.
It's okay, it's fine.
It's been a long day. The thing that's interesting about recording on Twitch is we don't do a whole lot of editing with this, so it's like it just is what it is. So on a day where I'm like, where's my notes? Like, because I'm just so ready to just read off the thing, and I'm like, gosh, like, yeah, it is. It just happens. Sometimes you just gotta be like. Sometimes we're just doing what we can, you know. So apologies for that, but thanks for being here, Kana. I appreciate it.
Anytime. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, great to hear. That's great to hear. You're someone I've been following for a really long time, and I feel like whenever I see stuff that you're doing, I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, like she's doing that at such a high standard. Like she's doing like really, really good work. And like I also think of you as someone who's very strong at like sharing information and documenting things as well. So for a long time I've been like, I need to talk to Kana. I don't know if we need to like figure out a project, or maybe I'll just have her on stream. Like I'll just talk to her on stream. So here we are, we're on stream. So good to have you. Let's talk about some 3D stuff. First question, I guess, is how did you get into this?
Well, that's actually quite a long story. I actually started 3D when I was 12 years old.
Whoa.
This was during middle school.
Okay.
And middle school was really harsh on me, basically. You know, I've been bullied and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I've also, basically there's like a lot of bad stuff that was happening when I was 12 and all that. It's been really harsh. And all I really had was just a phone at the time. And the thing was that there was this one particular song that got my attention.
Okay.
Now, I won't mention this song because this is sort of the song is kind of, I'm going to be honest, it's a little creepy, but the song was basically about bullying, and it had 3D visuals, which not to faint for the heart, which I'm actually still surprised this day that song was actually the one that inspired me to do 3D. But this song, though, the 3D visuals were actually really amazing.
Oh, wow.
And because of that, I was kind of like looking up on my phone at the time because that's all I had. I was looking up on the tiny old freaking. It was like the size of my freaking palm. This old phone that a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's so cute." And I was looking up like, how do you do this sort of thing? And then I came across Blender. And I came across a tutorialist. His name is Darren Lau, which he is literally my idol. He's my Blender idol because he's the one who taught me everything about Blender stuff, because he does Blender tutorials back in the day. I think he still does it. But he was the one who really got me into Blender. And from that day forth, after I pretty much got free from being homeless, at the time, because even though I had a phone, I was actually homeless and I ain't got a computer.
Oh, wow.
But once I was free from that after 2 years, I was able to finally get a computer of my own. That computer died. It was a Windows Vista. That one died. And then it was a long story with how I got Blender working on a Vista computer. It was complicated, but then my sister gave me her laptop. It's a crazy story. This would take way too long for me to explain every detail. I'm trying to simplify as best I can. But then I got my own laptop. I messed with Blender, and then, well, on January 27th, 2017, that began my official journey to Blender.
Awesome. That's super cool.
Yay.
There is a lot to unpack in there. That does sound like a pretty crazy story.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So what did that do for you at the time? Because like that's a pretty young, impressionable age to get started in 3D. When you started learning Blender, what was your response to it? Were you like, oh, cool, this is like a skill? Did it give you like a sense of identity? Because like in middle school,
it definitely did. Like Well, actually, just to kind of clarify this, because like I said, this would take me hours to fully explain every little thing, but just to clarify, I kind of knew Blender was a thing when I was like 11-ish years old, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Like around 10, 11, I think I became 11 years old when I found out about Blender, but I couldn't access it, because like I just said. And then 12 years old, I was able to actually access it, basically. So, yeah, just want to clarify that.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, you know what? If it makes you feel better, like, I'll tell you a really ridiculous story from me in middle school. Because middle school is hard for everybody, right? Like, I definitely got my share of bullying. I think I had more bullying in elementary school. But in middle school is a rough time. My thing in middle school is that I would bring habanero sauce in a jar, like, to school every day, and just, like... oh my gosh, you did that. You're ready with the toggles. Oh, that's so cool.
I am really ready for this.
Oh my gosh, look at you go. That's amazing. Anyways, habanero sauce, for those who don't know, is habaneros are like some of the hottest peppers that you can pick up at the Walmart without, trying to like find something real extra crazy. And every day in middle school, I would take my habanero sauce and I would just dip chips straight up in the habanero sauce. And almost without fail, I would, like, by the end of the day, within, like, the next couple hours, up till the end of the day, I would, like, somehow end up sticking my finger in my eyes without having washed my hands. And, like, just some pretty insane burn stuff. I've probably ruined my esophagus, and also, I just, like, can't eat spicy food anymore. But for me in middle school, I wasn't like necessarily a 3D artist back then. For me in middle school, I was like the guy who eats the hot food, like the hot sauce all the time. That was my thing.
It's okay to like hot sauce. It's okay. I live in a family where we always love spicy stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Spicy food is good. It's actually really sad. Like I can't really eat spicy food anymore without like really upsetting my stomach too much. It was the whole thing. That's not the point of this show. We're not here to talk about.
When we talk about hot sauce, this is a 3D. This is supposed to be 3D tech and about.
Yeah. Oh man, like I said, it's been a little bit of a day. Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry. So getting back to it. So you're 12 and you're messing around with Blender and you're learning how to use it. What do you think made you stick with it? Because now I think of you as like a very highly skilled practitioner with Blender, like the stuff you're doing.
That one was actually tricky. So when I was 12, I definitely played with Blender. However, I will admit, I had a hard time really understanding the program because, I was watching Darren Lyle. Like, I went back to his tutorials after, like, a year. Like, I watched his tutorials when I was younger. Then, when I got the computer, I rewatched it because I remember his name. And then I was like, okay, I don't understand this. But I feel like I kind of get it, but I also don't understand, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is also where I kind of this was when I figured out about MMD, and that actually helped me because the way MMD is that most of the time they sort of dumbify how 3D works. It's still the same concept,
So
but the
wait,
explanation.
hold up. Let's back it up a little bit. So MMD is Miku Miku Dance.
Yes. And the thing was is that at Blender, I was really confused of how Blender works. So what got me to sticking with Blender was I went to MMD because I found out about the whole MMD stuff, which I won't get into. That's completely different.
We can totally get into it. That's totally fair. Actually, I would. I don't think we've talked about MMD much on this show, and I would love to talk about MMD if you're wanting to. It's a program I see a lot of VTubers use, and I think this is like this sort of an interesting area of study, because it's like, if you've ever seen a VTuber make like an animation video and you're like, whoa, how did they do that? Like, that looks really, really good. Did they get good tracking or something like that? No, it's typically this program called Miku Miku Dance, which is set up to be able to import people's models and then create all. I think actually that's sort of a secondary function, right?
The reason why a lot of people use MMD is because it's literally just dumbed down 3D. So a lot of the overcomplicated 3D stuff is like wiped away, and people use MMD because the explanation's more dumb.
Oh, you got hit with the box.
I'm sorry for that.
You're okay.
Who went to my Twitch chat and triggered that? I don't know who did that. I don't know who did that.
This is the thing you can. This is another thing about 3D VTubers.
Okay, anyways, besides whatever just happened.
I love it. I love it so much.
MMD is literally just dumbed out 3D, and because it's so dumbed out, people can easily use it. That's also why people use PMX Editor, because it's literally dumbed out 3D. And that's how I was able to understand 3D to begin with. I learned from MMD, I learned the dumb version of 3D, and then I was using that for a while, and because I wanted more power from 3D, that's how I got more.
It happened again. It happened again.
I'm triggering my Twitch redeems. Anyway, I'm not even live and this is happening. Anyway, besides that, basically, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, I got more confident in Blender, so now because of MMD helping me get that dumbed out 3D knowledge, I got so much better at Blender, and now I'm a Blender expert after 6 years. So,
I believe it. Yeah, totally. That's like earned. Like I've seen your stuff. Like I don't think that's a stretch at all. That's congratulations. Like, and 6 years, that's certainly enough time to put in, I think. That's
yeah.
That's awesome. Wait, so I'm still looking for an answer to this. Like, what do you think made you stick with it? Like, a lot of people try
MMD. That was MMD because MMD got me stuck into 3D, and because I wanted more power, I wanted like to do more with 3D. I went back to Blender, and I was able to better understand it because MMD dumbed out the information.
Got it.
So I went on with Blender, kept going, and then the more I play with Blender, the more I just sticked with it.
Yeah.
And then more and more later, I got so much better, and that's actually how I got this model looking really good. I got better.
Yeah. That's awesome. I feel like Blender, I started Blender a good 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, and it helped me too because like I when I got into Unreal Engine, like I already understood all the 3D stuff, so I didn't have to start from scratch. I could like kind of use that information. So that's interesting and not at all surprising that like MMD was able to like give you what you need to like kind of like a starting point, and then you started working your way up, like learning it. Like that makes total sense.
Yay!
Yeah, that's awesome. So cool. I think the reason I'm still curious about the question is because like a lot of people lose interest in things. Like, do you think that you're the kind of person who like just is good at staying interested or finds new ways to challenge themselves?
Yeah, I definitely, the more and more I get into 3D and the more stuff I learn, I get more entranced by it.
Okay.
Like, for instance, ever since I've gotten into mocap, for example, starting with the Kinect. I gotten so obsessed with mocap, for instance, and I just kept going.
Yeah.
And I know for other people, that's just an example, but I know, and then for me with 3D, like, I just kept going because I was like, oh my god, you could do this and this and this and this. There's other people who get demotivated, and I believe the reason why people get demotivated so easily is because of how stressful the program is. And I understand, like, I almost gave up on Blender, sort of. I still wanted to keep going, but it was like, that whole thing about I'm too stressed about the program, I want to give up. There's that moment you get, but it's like the more the person experiments with it, and it's like it depends on the person, because some people will immediately quit and not even bother with the program, but then there's people who'll give up, and then after some time later they'll try it again, and then they'll just get more entranced by it and keep going. It happens,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I think so, for sure. Yeah, okay, so that's great. Let's talk about mocap.
My mocap is freaking froze. No.
As soon as I said let's talk about mocap.
No.
What a great intro. It's so good. It's hilarious.
Oh my, actually no.
That's so funny.
My gloves are actually red right now. This is not good.
Uh-oh.
Okay, technical issues.
It's
Give
okay.
me a moment.
This is this is like working for me in a really dark way, because the whole time I'm thinking like, oh man, like my leap motion, like kind of so much more animated to me. I'm like putting my hands down and I'm just like, like I'm moving head, and then so the competitive part of me is like, haha, I am more animated than you now. I'm kidding. Of course.
Hey, I still have a leap motion though, so if the mocap fully dies, I swap to leap motion easily.
Yeah, sure. So let's keep it going while you're still trying to fix things behind the scenes, if you're okay with it.
I think I'm back now.
Oh,
there you go.
This is definitely one of my favorite interviews. We've done it a really long time. This is so much fun.
It's breaking so much.
You're okay. You're totally good. This is part of. I think people don't understand. Like, this is part of being a 3D VTuber. Is like things going wrong and it being really funny. Like, that's totally a part of it. It's like it is what it is.
Okay, we're fixed. You can continue now.
You use the toggle. That's so funny. Ah!
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing too much for this.
This is we've hit the prime. This is exactly where we're supposed to be. This is peak VTubing.
Anyways, about mocap.
So talk about mocap. So how did you get started playing around with mocap?
It all started when, this was during my MMD era, basically. And I was also, like, with Blender, of course. I was Blender and MMD, and still do. I heard about the whole MMD connecting. And the thing is that there was a lack of information regarding the Kinect. So what I did, I asked my dad, I was saying, hey dad, could you buy me this Kinect on eBay? I couldn't find it anywhere else. And then I got the Kinect actually, and basically I played with it, as in I spent hours trying to research how to get a Kinect working on MMD because of the lack of information there was, and also because Apple bought Prime Sense, I could not get the resources, so that took a while.
Yeah.
And basically, I got the Kinect working, and I had a lot of fun. That was my start. But then later on, as I gotten older, because I couldn't afford like a mocap suit or anything like that, I got myself into VTubing in not even 2020, in 2019-ish. This is like before Vroid actually became public. It was
Wait, do you call it Vroid? Is it called Vroid?
Did I pronounce it wrong?
No,
people call it Vroid.
Vroid is what I've heard, but I could be totally wrong. Like I'm asking if I'm wrong.
I call it Vroid. I call it Vroid because it's faster for me to say. That's all. I could be wrong about it because I never heard the official people call their name. I never heard that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. It like it's totally. It's all good. I think
like the
everyone knows
whole
what you're
GIF
talking about.
and GIF debate, basically.
Yeah.
It's like that, but is it Vroid or Vroid? Oh no,
I
we'll
tend to
never
use
know.
whatever just like comes out of my mouth faster. Cause like I mean it's totally fair, right? It's like roid isn't a word, like vroid, like it makes sense to
Honestly,
me.
I don't even know where the name even came from. I honestly don't know. That would be great if I could ever ask the freaking developers about what the heck that came up with that name. I would, but that ain't gonna happen.
I
But
feel
either
like
way,
yeah, I feel like they'd just like tell you what they would call it in Japanese, and then you'd be like, oh, and then it like it like doesn't even matter. Um, uh,
but either way though, so this was before Vroid ever existed, and the thing was there was a program called Wakaru. So face rig was a thing, but of course I didn't know how to set up face rig at the time, because it required a bit of a complicated setup for 3D models. 2D models were easier, but I didn't
okay,
get into 2D
okay,
until something. But either way, I started with Wakaru because Wakaru accepted MMD malls, and I only knew MMD malls before VRM format.
right. And I think
Because
is MMD
yeah,
older than VRM?
yes,
Okay,
definitely yes.
because
MMD,
MMD is not new; it's an older program.
yes, and
Yeah,
MMD and PMX Editor are dead programs technically. It's still used to this day, but their creators abandoned the program.
they're not in
So
active
yeah,
development. Yeah,
no
yeah.
more.
They're not
They're
updated.
no more. Their developers pretty much left the program, and it's just up to the community to keep it alive. And to this very day, surprisingly, even though development is no longer happening anymore, it's the community keeps it alive. So that's really beautiful. But basically, though, I got into Wakaru, and that was when I found out about webcam mocap, the simple open CV basic head tracking with a camera.
Okay,
And I don't. Once again, I'm bad with remembering my age number at the time I did my whole mocap stuff.
it's okay.
But either way, I just remembered I was a kid. I was playing with Wakaru, playing with the thingy and all that. And then after Wakaru, then came in 3Tnet. 3Tnet was also another webcam thing. Then there was Luppet, but I couldn't afford Luppet because I was a kid. I did not have a job, so I couldn't afford $50 for the program. And then became well actually before VC Face it's called Open C Face Demo. So
Mm.
how I actually ended up becoming a beta tester for VC Face, it's all started because I heard Tracking World and I wanted to do some VR stuff. This was when I figured out VR tracking. However, once again, I was a dumb kid. I didn't understand about how VR worked. In fact, I bought a VR headset and not knowing that my computer was incompatible for VR.
Oh
And
wow.
then we got another computer and it was incompatible because it was like it was dual GPU, but I could not talk with the other GPU, and I was like, man, am I
No.
really that dumb with computers? But don't
No,
worry,
this
I
has
know
happened to
about
me. It's totally good. I
yeah.
remember when I was in high school and I bought a new GPU because I had a slim tower. I bought like a card that could fit in it, and it wasn't even the graphics card wasn't even compatible with my computer because I was just trying to be able to like play games on my computer because like Steam would only run like a couple of games, and it was frustrating. Interesting that you started with the Kinect because that's what I started doing mocap with was the Kinect.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah,
almost everyone started with a Connect because it was like
it's
it was everyone had it with their goddamn what do you call those games? I don't remember. I was playing those games like the dance game they had, and then the Connect Adventures where you have to
yeah.
like plug the water or do some weird thingy.
Oh
I
my
don't
goodness.
know. The something. I need to really like look back at those videos and watch it just out of nostalgia. But it was yeah, everyone pretty much had Connect back in the day, but they don't manufacture Connects anymore. They have Connect Azure, but I ain't getting
Oh
to
my
Connect
gosh.
Azure. I don't got that. But
That's like $600. The Azure
uh
Connects. Yeah.
yeah, and you're better off getting a VR full body mocap. It's just more better.
I actually know it depends on your setup, right? Like I actually have seen some really compelling projects made with the Azure Connect. Like I think it could be really cool for live stuff. I don't know, but
It just
I
depends,
yeah.
honestly. There's like I can actually like finish what the whole thing I was saying, and then we can get on to the whole what do VTubers prefer when it comes to mocap.
Oh, okay.
Um, but basically though, I kept getting the wrong computer. It was just two computers and that was it. But I did want to upgrade from the laptop I had because it was dying, but I didn't know much, and not even my family knew either. I was kind of like the tech. I'm pretty much to this day the tech nerd of my family.
Mm.
Only I know about computers, pretty much. But either way, I was trying to talk with the creator of Tracking World, which was Virtual D, and I was asking him questions, yada yada yada. And an OpenSea Phase demo was announced, and I was like, "Oh, look at that, a fun project!" And this was also when I met Emiliana, the creator of VC Phase. And
Mm.
pretty much from that day on, I was testing out OpenSea Phase demo. I was actually pretty much the early peeps who actually beta tested for VSF SDK, which is pretty much VSF avatar format, which a lot of VTubers use to this very day to get insane stuff on VC Phase. So yeah. And from that day forth, oh boy, I have gotten more and more obsessed with mocap. And after that, I remember there was Rococo when I was younger. I was really obsessed with Rococo. I've seen them in advertisements and stuff, and I fell in love with them. I've been a big fan. I don't remember what the exact year was because I just been a fan of Rococo for a long time when I was a kid, and I did. I'm gonna tell you right now. You want to know how I got this mocap suit?
How?
Commissions. That's it. Commissions.
Oh, cool. Well, that's
Literally,
that's
I
something
saved
actually I
up.
wanted to ask you about as well, is because like you are someone who actually works on VTuber models and stuff and works for other people. I mentioned up top that you're a VTuber doctor, which you corrected me before we started. I was like, a lot of
Yeah.
VTubers, for people who don't know, they have like there's a culture of referring to the people who make your model as your VTuber parents, which is the whole thing. So like
Ooh,
when
we
I was
can definitely get into this.
yeah, talk about it. How did that even start, by the way? It's sort of like a weird convention. And I mentioned to someone in a meeting recently, and they're like, "Ew, I hate that. Like, let's not talk about it that
Honestly,
way."
I have no clue. Where it originally started, it just happened, to be honest. I think the reason why people say the whole mother and father thing is mainly because like they are really connected to their avatars
Mm.
to like it feels like, it's just really connected basically. And the whole mama papa thing is just referring to how you have whoever made the illustration, whoever made the rigging and stuff. It's like some people don't like it because you actually have an actual father mother IRL, and it's just weird to call someone else that.
Yeah,
To some people, you get what I mean.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Of course.
yeah, and I mean honestly, if people want to say it, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind if people call me VTuber mother. Like even though I fix models, I had some peeps who call me VTuber mother because usually some peeps they're unable to get access to their original modeler, so it's like I fix their models for them from now on basically. So that happened, but for the most part, I'm mainly called VTuber doctor because I fix and repair models. So I don't make models like I make models from scratch, but I don't make from scratch models for other people. Mainly because I'm too scared to do it for other people. I usually work it for my own self project. For
Yeah,
instance, my character here or other
yeah.
stuff.
That's all
Which
you.
I am.
The character you
Yeah,
have here is like from scratch. You made it in Blender.
yes, completely. And
Wow. It's
yeah,
a
pretty
it
much.
Kana. It's amazing. Like I need to say that
Thank.
it's like your model's amazing. It's super cool. And I've seen like so many iterations of it that you've posted over time of like as you started adding physics secondaries and stuff like that. I think it's really really cool.
Yeah, definitely. There was like 7, 8 iterations of this version of myself.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even include the past brand I used to had, which I won't get into the past brand thing, but I will say there were like, wait, 4 models, I think. I'm
Hmm.
gonna say probably 4, and then there was a lot more from the past, and yeah, I ain't counting on those models. All I know is that I still have those old models in my computer.
Yeah.
I lost 5 models though, but either
Ah,
way, um, pretty much commissions wise, I pretty much repair other people's models because there was like a sort of demand for them.
mm,
Because for the most part, a lot of other 3D modelers they only like make from scratch models, never to repair or fix or enhance. And I do it for cheap mainly because a lot of times people don't want, full from scratch models. Some people want a more affordable fixer upper until they're ready to have a from scratch model entirely
Hmm.
remade or something like that. It really just depends because it's not just void models I do. Sometimes it can actually be a from scratch model, but they still want some certain enhancements that they couldn't get originally. It's a big spectrum of different types of commissions, honestly. But I take
Yeah.
care of it and I do the best as I can.
Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like an interesting thing, right? Because like there are some VTubers that I follow who don't really like do much stream content, but they just kind of work on other people's models and stuff. And some of them are like have pretty large brands. Like it's kind of impressive how some folks have like kind of ended up building like a reputation for themselves in this space. It's very niche that they're like, they are a VTuber modeler and that's their whole thing. And like you said, like they're able to build up enough business that they're able to invest in things like mocap suits. And I think that's fascinating. And I want to meet them all and be friends with them all and learn all of their 3D secrets. Because
Yeah, and
I made my character too, but I don't think I'm nearly as how would we say
but
animated as
dude,
you.
you look fabulous. Don't worry, we all have our different styles. You don't have to be an anime boy just to get those monies. You don't need to be an anime boy.
To
All you
get
have
those
to do
monies.
is just all you have to do is have passion. That's all you need. That's all you need, passion.
We got that over here, that's for sure. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
This is cool. I
But
feel
you,
like you're giving me an oral history of the technology of VTubing in this interview, which is huge. Like both your own and like how a lot of it's changed over time. I'm curious, what do you think is like the future of it? Like I have my own thoughts, but like where do you think is where's it all headed? Like in terms of technology.
Oh boy, that one is just okay. It depends. Now, for the most part, a lot of people are gonna go live 2D Eluclid, bring it back. Well, for me personally, I vouch for live 2D Eluclid to come back. In case you don't know what live 2D Eluclid is, basically where you take a live 2D model, but you actually make it into
Hmm.
3D. However, the model format looks really ugly though,
Okay.
but yet it looks more 2D at the same time. So there's something like that I'm expecting in the future for Live 2D Eloquent to be revived and then people overcomplicate models. But as for 3D though, if you're talking about 3D VTubing, well, for instance, we got Macapi and we also got Tundra, Slime VR, Vive, and all that. So there's more VR trackers. So it's basically helping out people get more accessibility for full body tracking. And then we also have Media Pipe getting much more better. In case you don't know what Media Pipe is
Yeah, I
basically
do.
yeah, it's basically just for the chat. It's sort of like training data, whether hand, face, body, hair, whatever the frick. It's training data made from Google, and primarily it's the body tracking and the hand tracking. Not so much a face, but I have seen some programs. They utilize Media Pipe for tracking, and I will say there are more and more webcam full body tracking programs such as webcam motion capture, XR Animator, Warudo has it. Vignon plans on having webcam hand, and there's a lot of other programs and such. I
Mm.
can't name on the top of my head, but
Yeah, I have a lot to
basically
Google after
more.
this because I'm like, all my stuff is an Unreal Engine. Like, it's my sort of one-stop shop for VTuber stuff. I
Yeah.
never mess with any of
Yeah.
this stuff, but every once in a while I'm like, I should go learn all the VTuber programs. I should learn them all. I should do it. I should do it. I should totally learn them all. But yeah, okay. So in terms of
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely getting better.
it's getting better. Yeah, okay. Like, so that's interesting. So it sounds like there's some live 2D stuff you'd like to see come back. It sounds like you're excited about the future of affordable 3D mocap.
And there's also one last thing I want to say.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So when it comes to 3D models, now I know yes, Vroid is definitely getting better. They're adding more accessories and stuff, but I'm hoping that in the future we'll see more character creation programs because I know that there are people. While Vroid is powerful, there's definitely a sort of a demand for character creation programs for different styles of avatars. Not just I mean, different variations of anime
I
characters,
mean,
but also
hello.
realism and
Hello.
such.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unique stuff like that right there. I mean, we do have metahuman, but I ain't gonna get into that right now.
I don't want to
But
either.
either way, nah. But either way, I definitely would say hopefully character creation programs they'll grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But at the same time, more VTubers are trying to go for a 2.5D 3D model. In case you don't know what the heck 2.5D means, it's basically a 3D model that looks very 2D. For
Yep.
instance, I'm trying to emulate that style with my character 2.5D, where I look 2D, like really look 2D, but I'm still a 3D model. And you can still call them 3D, but I'm getting there. But you can definitely look it
Yeah.
up, but there's not a lot of information
I'd say you're
you
there.
can get.
I don't think you're getting there. I think you're there. I think everything else is polished at this point. I know what you're talking about. I've seen some posts on Twitter that were like live 2D people are always trying to make their stuff look more 3D, and 3D VTubers are always trying to make their stuff look more 2D. The 2Dification of 3D, the 3Dification of 2D. It's like sort of a thing.
I remember that too. That one's that one's funny.
I've seen people build like missile turrets in live 2D, and it like rotates all the way around the missiles, and it's like, why are you doing this?
You're overcomplicating everything, but at the same time, though, that's what they want to do. They want to push the program to the limit, like Microsoft Paint and that person who draws Santa Claus.
Or the people who, have you seen the people who do painting in Excel? Like they just like pixel by pixel in Excel spreadsheets. I love that so much.
Basically, it's a whole thing where you have limited tools, but you push it to the limit to do crazy stuff. It's like a canvas. You have limited stuff, but you want to go insane with it to show the potential of the program.
Yeah. Oh, and then also kind of like you throughout the whole thing, like moving from MMD to all these different things, like, you're constantly trying to like upgrade what you can do and like push it for the limit of like what you've had available too. Sorry, I want to make sure you get more credit too, because I find you very, very inspiring. Don't you hit a blush toggle on me now. We got more show to get through.
I'm gonna find it right now. There it is.
Oh, you did it. Dang it.
Too late. I'm fast with the stream deck. It's okay.
The amount of visual gags per minute on this particular episode of this interview show is just astoundingly making my day. It's so good. That's cool. Is there anything that you haven't seen a VTuber do that you're like, I'd really like to see somebody do this? Someone I been talking to recently just posted like a list of ideas of just like things that they're a live 2D artist, and they're just like, here's my list of like cool ideas I had for live 2D that like anybody could just do. Do you have a list of ideas that you're like, why hasn't anybody done this yet?
For 3D models, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Vignon. Okay, this is something I wanted to get into, but Vignon, oh boy, a lot of people keep underestimating that program. This is a baby program right now, but in case you don't know what it is,
I do.
and I'm using it right now, but I'll say for everyone else. Vignon is basically a program where if you want to make a sort of custom program, because the thing is that VTubers want to go insane nowadays. We have VC Face, but we want more power. Like how I went from MMD to Blender, we want more power. We were praying for that heck stuff. So Vignon allows us to go over like more and more insane. But of course, if you want to go more insane, do Unity and Unreal Engine from scratch, basically. But I definitely will say this is tough because you could do a lot with 3D already. It's just more of people really need to take the time to really like beat the living heck out of 3D to the point like you could do so much more with it. So for example, virtual pets or something where a pet will follow you. Not VR chat. VR chat already exists, but I meant like VTubing wise, there could be more of that for 3D. But then again, that also exists.
I think so.
Like I said, a lot of this stuff exists. It's more of it's just a matter of people like randomly discovering it, and you're like, oh my god, that thing actually does exist. I have no idea. So it's like I can't think of it on the top of my head. But a lot of the stuff you can do can be really insane.
Gotcha.
Like there's virtual juggling, by the way. There's a VTuber who juggles, and they actually have physics with that. So yeah.
Gotcha. So I think it's interesting, and I'm interested in where it's all going for sure. Can I ask you like sort of a controversial question? Have you seen Neurosama? Do you know what I'm
Ah,
talking about?
oh, I accidentally triggered the wrong blunchy. Yes, I heard of Neurosama.
What do you think about that? So something like something
Honestly, she ain't controversial. Like, I was
yeah,
actually watching a couple clips because I was like, oh, who's Neurosama?
yeah.
And I definitely will say, like, okay, I get how people are gonna be like, oh, what happens if there's more AI VTubers take over the entirety of Twitch and therefore we can't be creative anymore? We have to go back to working at retail stores? No, let me tell you this, okay? Somebody wanted to make an AI VTuber. That's art. Their art is called coding.
Mm.
Okay? There's nothing wrong with showcasing how your code could do all this stuff. Now, I understand it may happen. If it does happen, well, I'll say this right now. Me personally, you could still do more creative stuff. It doesn't have to be just coding. There's a huge spectrum of art stuff, basically. And I understand, like, again, it does get controversial. It
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many like argument points being like, oh, but she will take over all these AI VTubers are gonna take over and stuff, or oh, normal, you know, what was
I
the thing I
mean,
was gonna say?
I
I
think that
forgot.
it needs to be said that there's only so many times in a row that a human controlled VTuber can say ooh woo before they just get tired, where the AI can ooh woo
Yeah,
indefinitely. It's a
yeah,
fearsome power that they have. They can just keep ooh
yeah,
wooing for the rest of time. I'm a little nervous about that. Not necessarily that they're going to take over,
yeah.
but just that the ooh woos will never stop.
But at the
Uh,
same time, though, there's also the thing too where the thing with AI, it definitely does get controversial. Now it's a bit, it's like 2D AI. No, get
like
that
2D art
away from
generations.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
get that away from me. Get shoo. Pretty much. I know that there's also some certain 3D AI. For example, there's AI mocap. Now I'm not talking about Rococo AI. I don't know if that's MediaPipe or something like that and it's revamped. But
hmm.
basically, what I'm talking about AI mocap is where you can actually type in some words, for instance, and a
Yeah,
mocap will pop up. Once again, there's pretty much a huge library of mocap data that exists already, and even with the existing library there, just an example of AI, I guess that's acceptable. Even with the text to AI stuff, you still need you still need a 3D cleanup artist to clean up the keyframes and all that other stuff, and a lot of other stuff basically. So I guess like the 3D mocap AI is all right, but then the 2D one, it's like where else is the training data coming from basically, so uh,
yeah, yeah. That's
you know if
that.
that makes sense.
It's a good question. I think with AI stuff, like it's a little different because for mocap specifically because with mocap, like yeah, like there's not like mocap data floating around on the internet, if that makes sense. Like there's obviously rendered animations out there, and
Yeah,
people can
there are definitely that.
there's like lots of renders, but I don't think people's like Maya files from their studios are like up on the internet so that people would like steal the Maya files like and then put them into training data. I think a lot of the people who are making those kinds of tools are just like training computers to be able to recognize what's happening in a video and like they're trying to build accurate training models based off of like video references of like how humans move in space and
Yeah,
it's kind of its
that's
own new thing. If I understand it right, I'm still learning a lot about
That's
those.
it. That's the thing with 3D mocap AI. That's why it's more acceptable. Because the thing is that with mocap, this is mainly mocap. Of course, there are certain animations that can't be possible with like general mocap. Like for instance, if you're trying to make a sort of more 2D looking animation movement with mocap, then that's a bit different ish. It gets complicated like that. It just depends. But when it just comes with normal mocap, basically, there's already like you could download the BVH FBX files of human animation you could get from Rococo Motion
Yeah,
Library, for instance, and pretty much with mocap AI, it's just a matter of like taking a humanoid rig and just moving the limbs in different poses and
yeah,
all that. So
Right, but it all kind of
there's
starts
that.
with mocap, I think, though, where I feel like I would feel
Yeah.
differently about AI mocap if like the AI mocap was all built on, let's say there was like a lot of publicly available, like, because I see people in the chat talking about this a
Now
little
that
bit.
one, yeah, because there's
If
a
it was
text motion AI, and then you have the video one, like media pipe.
So
You know,
there's mocap and then there's animation. They're kind of different things, right? Like so if you watch like a Pixar movie, I mean I guess those are getting more realistic. But like if you watch an animated movie from a animated studio and they're not trying to do realistic human motion, they're using like very much traditional animation ways to like bring about these
yeah.
movies. Like that stuff I don't see really getting stolen right now. Like, I don't see anyone doing anything with that data because a lot of that stuff isn't public. Whereas I'm like really wary of a lot of these tools that like take code from public databases or
Yeah, that definitely can also get controversial. Like the whole,
yeah,
like, cause like I said, well, yes, there are of course the mocap AI that will have their own training data, but there could also be like others where they'll just fork out other code. You know, for example, there'll be people who'll just fork media pipe, and while media pipe, you know, anyone can fork it. There could be people who steal the code, or there'll be people who make their own training data for mocap AI.
mm,
Once again, the term AI is definitely really abused. Basically, I definitely will say that. But basically,
huh,
with the whole thing with stealing training data, yeah, the training data stuff is what gets a bit controversial, and that's how the 2D one got
yeah,
controversial as well.
yeah, 2D art,
But I definitely would say Neurosama though. I honestly, you know, I've I have no problem with Neurosama existing, you know, because you know she entertains people. The coder sees it as their art, you know,
yeah,
expressing how their code work and stuff. So that is their art. And as long as they're not taking it from someone else, and as long as you know they can stick, you know, I'm pretty sure they're using open source code and stuff to help out, you know, keeping the project up and going. I don't know
mm,
anything about her kind of coding system stuff, but there are some streams I think they have where you can kind of get an idea. But either way, that I think is perfectly fine. Of course, it's okay to be worried about the future. Like, what if there'll be more people making more AI VTubers to take over? That's understandable if you're worried,
mm,
but me personally, I just see it more as a different form of art, you know, a different coding art. Because coding is definitely a different, you know,
yeah.
coding is a type of art basically, and people do crazy stuff. Like for example, the person who made an entire script where a 3D donut model will be generated, and if you zoom in, there'll be little binary codes of it, and then showing it's like that for
That's like
example is
a
art as
good
well.
example of procedural art that's done through
Yeah.
code. Yeah, I think that's interesting because like some of that stuff can be stolen too. Like some of that stuff that's based
Oh
on codes. Like
yeah.
I've started to see some people post some tutorials about how to use ChatGPT to generate Python scripts in Blender,
Ooh,
which is
Chat GPT. That one definitely is sort of like
yeah, I don't know about
for
it.
example, the person there were like people using Chat GPT to generate essays and pass their homework easily. It's like, yeah, I understand that also. That one definitely is like Chat GPT is like that's definitely something that's sort of I haven't looked into it, but I can see why people are scared about it. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's much to be said and much to be seen still about
Yeah.
those because I've seen some projects like I think that like Bing was trying to integrate ChatGPT and I think they kind of backed off of it because they had a lot of problems and a lot of people were abusing it and like it's I don't know what the plans are with that or if it like maybe they dropped it maybe it came out maybe it dropped I don't know but the like you know it's like kind of problematic because like people can use these things to do really weird stuff um so you know or like they can like jailbreak it by like being emotionally abusive to the AI like really
Oh my
wild
god.
really wild stuff so it's something I'm keeping my eye on but I'm trying to have more conversations about it, especially on stream. I recorded a video this week which was kind of like talking about like my thoughts about how Unreal Engine people should start thinking about it like if ChatGPT is like relevant for game dev stuff right now. I think it.
Yeah.
I think it's like a question. Like there's like a couple of questions. There's like does it work? Is like you know a good fine first question I suppose. But should you use it as like a real thing? Because it's like you know does this end up like hurting creators? Does this you know Does it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Does it
I
end
can
up like?
honestly. Oh, I'm sorry. You can continue.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like the idea that we make technology that makes people's lives better, not that like dispossesses them of their like entire life's meaning structure, you know? So that's my thesis, I suppose, on it all. But I'm sort of trying to
Yeah.
evolve. And it's interesting for me to hear you say, I think Neurosama is cool, because I can see some people probably feeling like Neurosama is able to outperform them in ways that that they can't do, and that's interesting, like, because like I'm a developer, and like the Neurosama project is really really interesting. Like it's kind of a interesting thought to say, like, okay, like this thing can like keep up with chat really well and stuff like that. And this like in this interview, like we're not even looking at like chat for the most. I mean, I'm looking at chat, but I'm not we're not responding to chat. Maybe that's a good segue, because we're getting towards the end of our little interview here. Does anyone have any questions for Kana that you want to ask her that she might be able to respond to? Kana knows about a lot of programs. If you're just joining
Yeah.
us and didn't hear earlier, Kana's got quite a handle on this stuff.
Feel free to ask away about any 3D stuff.
Yeah, and if not, speaking of code, like I have a little game for you. We're gonna do a little experiment tonight. We got something fresh and new. If you've been around here for a long time, you've been hanging out and watching my interviews. We got something a little risky and new.
Mm.
It should be pretty fun. So we got a question. Do you have any deeper thoughts on Vroid? I'm not sure what that means.
I'm gonna say Void is a powerful program, and I remember back in the day, and I think it still happened to this day, but not as much as it used to. But I remember there was something called Void haters, where because this was because of the whole TIDA situation, TDA models. Because in the MMD community back in the day, there was a whole thing about people abusing the TIDA's rules. But the thing was is that because Void, a lot more people use Void, and because I guess some people are comparing the Tita drama to Void, even though that was unnecessary. There's definitely were people who were hating on Void before, especially with the whole repetitive stuff where people hardly edit them all. So there was that thing going on, and I was like, that's stupid because Void models are technically under public domain. The program
Hmm.
is not, of course, but when you export the model, that's technically under public domain license. I mean, you can do whatever you want with the model, basically. So
I didn't know
there's
that.
no problem. Yeah, if you, I mean, I think there was, do keep in mind to check the Void licensing. But back from what I read it, the models, they're under public domain. As long as you edit it and you export and stuff, it's public domain. So pretty much, you do whatever you want with the Void models. You can do a lot of insane stuff. You can make it realistic. You can make it more anime,
Wow,
as long as you know how to texture the goddamn model. Because if you don't know how to texture, the model ain't gonna look pretty. So,
that's
or
interesting. We got another
friendly.
one. We got another one for you here. Is there such a thing as a universal or default VRM skeleton? Mega Mocap is saying that in his experience, the skeleton bone names and structure vary quite a bit. And just for some
Actually, yeah.
context, if it's helpful, for game development, it really helps if you can standardize a skeleton. You can use the exact same skeleton with the exact same proportions.
E-
Like for all of my different versions of my model, it's always built on the same rig, because otherwise I have to write new code.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Now Roy Malls definitely they have a bone standard. That's our given. I don't like the bone names. They're not proper to Blender mirroring. I wish they fixed that,
Oh yeah.
but that's Pixiv's problem. But when it comes to VRM, like actual VRM, because keep in mind, Void is not the creator of VRM format. The creator
Hmm.
of VRM format was this. I think it was a company called Dwago. And then there was the sole creator. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but I do follow them on Twitter, and they have this sort of green profile picture. But someone else created VRM format, and then Void, because of how the VRM format is, they took upon the VRM format basically, which VRM stands for virtual reality model. Now the thing with
Oh,
VRM
okay.
format
I thought it just stood for
is
Vroid model.
nope. A lot of people keep thinking because
Yeah.
Void popularized VRM format, but no. VRM existed first, then it was Void.
Oh
That's what
wow,
happened.
I didn't know that. That's actually that's big for me
Yeah,
because I
that's
had
why
kind
I
of
was
just
mentioning
assumed.
Wakadu, because Wakadu supported VRM files, but this was before Void existed, and I was like, what the
Yeah,
heck's a VRM file until Void? In fact, I actually remembered before the whole VRM got more accessible, because VRM is basically GLTF format, so all you
yeah,
have to do is just
I did
rename
know that.
VRM to GLTF and it'll work on Blender and stuff.
That's
But
how I
basically,
was doing it before there were good plugins for it. I was just
but
like
yeah, back
stealing
with the
stuff.
humanoid skeleton, it's VRM is literally just when you register Unity's humanoid settings, that's literally just the VRM skeleton right there. If the VRM skeleton, it basically, if your model FBX properly registers to Unity humanoid, there's your standard right there. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
name it is. Now, yes, if you're a coder, if you're gonna code stuff for VRM, it depends on how you do it. If you're gonna make a VTuber program for everyone, you can't really rely so much on the names. You'll have to rely on how Unity registers the humanoid skeleton, and same with other programs as well. Which it gets complicated. It gets confusing depending on what you're doing. But if you're gonna
Uh,
do your own sole game, then definitely recommend to keep a sort of your personal naming scheme for your VRM file. But
Unity
or just stick
humanoid
with
is so
FBX.
cool. I wish we had that in Unreal Engine because that's not a thing in
You
Unreal
guys
Engine.
don't
Like
have that in Unreal
there
Engine? I thought
no.
you
So
do.
there's some new retargeting tools that are really good, but there isn't like a way to sort of universalize the skeletal animations. Which and I've done it
Wow.
in Unity before. It's very nice. It's a very good thing when like the program can just be like, ah, yeah, that's a skeleton, that's a person,
Yeah.
and then it just
I
like
know.
handles that stuff. It's like what? It's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know
magic.
Maya does that with human IK settings.
Okay.
I thought that translates because Maya has an Unreal Engine export. I'm not an Unreal Engine person
A lot of
yet,
people use Maya and
but
Unreal Engine. I think it'll happen at some point. I feel it. Like you're probably gonna, and let me know when you do, because I would be happy to help you. But yeah, at some point you'll catch the bug for Unreal.
yeah.
I sort of lost my train of thought here, Kana. So before we transition to this game, let me ask you a final question here. Is there anything that you're excited about? That is on the horizon for you? Anything you're working on? Any projects? Oh my goodness, you can touch your face. That's wild. I can kind of touch my face. Yeah, I can. I'm actually touch it. Yeah, yeah. It's not too bad. I can like kind of cross
I
my
mean, I can
fingers
still
here.
touch my face with a leap motion though.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Which is what I'm rocking tonight because I'm tired of wearing sweaty mocap suits. And I can't do it during streams.
Uh,
Like, bless you for wearing a mocap suit and coming onto this interview. Like,
hey,
you're a trooper.
I wanna look my
Oh my
best. I just
goodness.
wanna look my best. Yay!
That's so
Yeah, I can
cool.
spin.
That's so
Yeah,
cool. Okay.
yeah, but very much though, project wise, I want to first, well, first I want to finish my commissions. That's definitely a top priority I have to do. Second of
Gotta
all,
take care of the clients.
I want to finish updating my model. Now my model may be looking nice and stuff, but I want to update my air kit blend shapes. I want to finish my eye update because my artist, my 2D artist Fizzy, she gave me a brand new eye redesign and it's
Oh, wow.
beautiful. But I have to finish rigging my I have to finish re-rigging my blend shapes and then do some other fixes. And after I update my model, I plan on doing a fan model, another like robot model for somebody as a little gift. And then I want to make a couple. I want to basically do some art, fan art models for other people. Basically, that's what I want to focus on. So I'll be hopefully doing that down the line, just giving people free gift models. Basically, that's what I want
Whoa.
to do.
That's awesome.
And yeah, also to build my portfolio, but I just want to do it just for fun, basically. And then I want to get back on commissions, and hopefully next time when I do commissions, I actually do want to make more from scratch models. I will say I do have one commission, one big commission I have that is a from scratch model. Her name is Ata, and
Hmm.
I am nearly almost done with her model, which I am really excited for, and I'm hopefully gonna get it finished by June, so that way I can actually become a VTuber mother. But you don't have to call me by a VTuber mother. That's what they want to call me. So yeah.
How about VTuber Evil Stepmother?
I'm
That
evil.
I'm kidding you. Just feels like something that's out there to take advantage of. I mean, like Art Gun's the VTuber fairy godmother. Like, there's a, it's a.
I ain't evil though.
There's I don't know. I'm just making jokes.
Oh.
That's very cool. I wish you the best in all of those. It'll be really cool to see when you start getting originals out there because the quality's so good for everything you're doing. It's really cool. That being said, thanks for talking to us. We are about to learn even more about you. I hope you're ready. So, as I said at the top of the show, as I said at the top of the hour, the Virtual Woody Variety Show features an interview, but also a game. We do an in-show game show, and tonight we are debuting a brand new game. Now, I need everybody's attention because here's the thing. I need you to be a little bit, how should we say this, flexible with your expectations tonight. So we are going to be running a new game. However, it's not quite there yet. It doesn't like completely work the way I would hope to. We're gonna test it out tonight to see if it kind of works, and then from the information I get from this little playtest with Kana, we're gonna be able to come back and we're gonna be able to make the game. First off, visually, we're gonna update the visuals a little bit, and second off, we're gonna see if we need to make any changes to the way we play the game, or we change any of the game design. So, Kana, are you ready to play Truth or Chat? That's the game.
Before we do that, can I show you a little trick I have?
Yeah!
Okay, you see my hand? I can actually unleash snow.
That's so cool! That's super cool!
Then this one. Ah!
Whoa! It's like the opposite of a flamethrower. Whoa!
Flamethrower! Yeah, anyways, you can start now.
That's so cool.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, then let's do it. So, Kana, are you ready to see what's behind this crazy door right over here?
Bring on the curtain.
Alrighty then. Your wish is my command. So I'm super nervous. I'm not sure if this is gonna go well. This,
it won't break, I promise.
Brand new game and all. I'm a little bit like
It won't break, I promise you.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Truth or Chat. This is a brand new game, and I'm gonna explain it to you. We are gonna play it. I'm gonna open this little secondary title card in just a second. But first, I'm gonna explain the game. And if the game scuffs up super hard, there's a way we can play without having to deal with any of the programming. So we'll just come back into our, we'll just throw this little card back up, and then we'll just play it like normal. Now, chat, we don't have all the funnest special features tonight, but this is very much a chat activated game and a chat playable game. So the way this works is it's like Truth or Dare. So I'm gonna have Kana like go through the process here of like looking at the question, considering the question, but if Kana doesn't want to answer the question because some of these questions are a little bit, shall we say, personal.
Oh no!
Yeah. Then it's gonna be up to all of you to provide us with tonight's entertainment. So that's the shtick. So Truth or Chat. It's so we're gonna learn a little bit more about Kana, and we're also gonna learn a little bit about all of you. So let's give it a go. All right, this is Truth or Chat. It's also the some of the visual elements may look a little familiar if you've been around for a while. So let's spin this wheel, shall we? All right.
Spin the wheel of death.
The wheel of death. Hold on, you don't even know yet. Kana's not seen any of these questions ahead of time. It's
Yeah, I have no idea.
We got big it is what it is energy tonight. For sure. All right. Starting off with a banger of a question. Do you have a guilty pleasure? Now remember, everything is truth or chat. You can
What does this
answer.
even mean?
Are you unfamiliar with this concept?
Actually, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I'm happy to explain this one to you. Now remember, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. You can throw it to chat. That's gonna be that's like sort of the point of the game. Now in the future, we will also have the ability for chat to like answer in via a command, and then they can like basically also answer in the game. So and then you'll be able to react to them, and like we can pick some favorites, and then I guess I guess this game makes react content or something. So
yeah, react content.
Yeah, but it's the most wholesomest kind, because all of the react content tonight is coming through just from us playing around with this game. So the guilty pleasure basically is what's something that you enjoy that like kind of you either feel bad about it, or nobody thinks it's cool, or like you enjoy it but you know it's like for whatever reason it's like something you don't want to talk about, I would say, which is kind of the whole point of the game. So
I have no idea, actually. Do I throw it to chat if I actually have no answer?
You
like,
can, you totally can.
Like,
do you want an example?
Like not have embarrassment, but it's like I actually have no clue, because it's like my entire family knows what I do pretty much. I'm just a mocap addict in the room, so it's like I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
For me, I'm trying to think of a good one, because some of my like guilty pleasures are very reasonable. Like like a thing for me is like I recently bought myself like a plush from a game I really liked, and I felt really guilty about it because I feel guilty about spending money sometimes. But that's lame, because that doesn't tell you anything about me. So the it's not really the point. I love listening to Radiohead in the shower, and just listening to sad boy music in general while just like hanging out in the shower. It's that's a guilty pleasure of mine, is shower sad boy music. That's an example.
Probably say, I guess if I were to give an answer, then I would say just me in general. Like I would buy like my mocap stuff, like, or not just mocap, but like recently I bought my stream deck, and I was pretty much told not to buy it, but I buy it anyways because I really, really wanted it.
I got a stream deck addiction.
Yeah, and I bought mine, but my family was saying don't buy it, but I buy it anyways. Is that what you mean?
Not necessarily. How about we like? Do you want to start off with a different one? So maybe. All right. Yeah. Let's get you another. I think that's probably that's probably the right idea.
I'm a little confused on that one. Like not just by the meaning, but more of like experience wise. I don't think I fully experienced that actually. Maybe as a kid, but it's like I don't remember.
Okay. So okay, yeah, here's a good one.
Oh!
What's your hottest take about VTubers?
Okay. I gotta think of this one. There's so much about it. There's so much, but I really don't want to say too much, otherwise I might get canceled on Twitter.
That's what this game is for. It's either get canceled or ask chat.
I guess if I were to say a hot take, I'm gonna need really time for this one. There's so many hot takes. Like
you gotta pick one.
Like I said, an example would be about the Vroid situation, where it reminded me of the Tita situation. It's like really dumb drama that people are like, oh, why are you using Vroid? They're too repetitive. But it's like, bruh, have you not heard about texturing? And then there's also like this other
Wait, no, you can't. Hold up.
No, there's another one.
Okay.
No, there's another one. I was was saying as an example. But there's another one, I guess I will say. So this one's about the whole, the follower bait posting. Now that
Oh,
one's a
that's
definite
more
like,
like it. That's
yeah,
what I'm
so
talking about. Yeah,
basically,
absolutely.
I've seen that a lot on Twitter because I follow like a handful of VTubers or a lot of VTubers, and I see my friends, they would like those tweets or they would retweet it and stuff. And I definitely would say those tweets. Now I understand, you want to interact with other people. Even I've done it in the past before, so it's like me personally, it's like they're fun. But if your entire Twitter account is full of it, where you're just follower baiting people, I would say that's just, can you do
Kana,
something else?
Kana, this is
But
this is a,
yeah.
this is a cold take. That's not a hot take. Everyone hates follower bait.
I don't know.
Kana,
Dang it! I went hot and then I went cold. I mean, look at me.
a hot take is like Hololive is overrated. That's a hot take. The
I get.
chat. Do we have any hot takes? Do we have any hot takes
Yeah.
from chat about
I'm bad at answering.
if you don't feel
controversial.
well then that's when you throw to
comfort,
chat. That's when you
the
throw to
negative
chat.
I was really trying to answer this one because it's like I was really like I was like really conflicted because I'm like, a hot take, which one? Like I heard of them, but it's like, how would I name it? That's the thing. But I guess we could throw it in the chat though, because it's like, I don't know. I'm really bad at answering this stuff.
Hot take. I'm tired of anime boys stealing the monies.
Anime boys?
Right
oh, no,
on.
No.
Right
anime
on.
girls.
Oh? Huh?
I mean, we're mainly, a lot of us are girls. I mean, no. Actually, you know what? Hold on. That's a VTuber hot take, actually, right there.
Yeah.
Majority of VTubers are females, but it's like, as in the model.
This
like,
is not a hot take.
I thought that was a hot take! That there's majority female
That's
models.
a fact! That's a fact! We just know this!
What's the this is complicated, my brain hurts. Man, I thought that was a hot take. Well, honestly, though, I'm perfectly fine, though, with the majority female models, because I've seen beautiful models, though. But even then...
Okay, alright. So we gotta turn up the heat on you here a little bit, I think. So let's do another question.
Am I really that cold? I'm a snow angel.
You know what? What you are a freelancer, which means you gotta make friends and you gotta keep them. So let's give you another one here. We got another one on the wheel. I wonder why the wheel's not making any noise. Huh.
Well then.
Alright.
Hot take, not a fan of debuts. Oh yeah, that is true. Debuts are definitely quite... I mean,
yeah.
I feel a lot of VTubers, like, it's fun with debuts, but definitely there's just too many debut.
Okay.
3D Boba is better than 2D Boba! well, I mean, Hana,
Welcome, Hana. That quality Hana take there. The question... oh
okay.
my goodness. The new question is, who's your celebrity crush?
Okay, does a YouTube gamer count?
Oh yeah, I will definitely.
Markiplier.
Markiplier, nice. We'll take that.
Yes.
That's totally valid. I'll take Markiplier for sure. Absolutely.
Everyone, y'all better be head over heels over Markiplier. And if you are not head over heels over Markiplier, I'm gonna hold on 1 second. Actually, I'm going. You didn't see anything.
Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? I think
We're
we're back.
alive.
Ah, we're back.
Ah.
I think we're back. Oh my goodness. Sorry, that was crazy.
I was grabbing a cookie.
I grabbed a little bit of granola. I grabbed a little bit of granola. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Oh, appreciate that so much. Sorry about that. That was kind of annoying. There are days where I want to grab my internet service provider and shake them by the collar, like that one movie.
I also want to do that too.
Yeah. So, okay, we still got some hot takes. So where we left off, and I don't know if anybody was missing this.
Markiplier's hot.
That. Yeah, that's what it was. That's where we were most recently. Good old hottie Markiplier. Man Crush Monday Mark. That's exactly where we were at. So, all right, cool. Well, let's get back to it then. Let's see. So, our next question, Connor, are you ready?
Go ahead.
Glad that we caught that one. And let's go with the. Actually, I'm gonna see here if I can use my Stream Deck to start this guy. Yeah, I can. Oh, cool. That's awesome. So we're gonna have next one up here. Let's see what this is. What's the silliest thing you have done in public? Truth or chat? Truth or chat?
Okay. I think I'll name it. This was back at middle school, and I was running to the cafeteria to get some food, and then I tripped over there's this tree, and then there's this trunk. I tripped over, and then everyone was like, I think that was funny. It was funny to me, tripping over a tree, just trying to get something. But you could probably name this to chat, probably, because I don't know what something I did silly and funny in public.
Chat, do we have any
tree incident? But yeah.
Do we have any really great public silliness stories or any
something funnier than me tripping over a tree?
I mean, that is funny. That's certifiably slapstick humor. Kana, so the idea is eventually in the future, chat will be able to leave their answers and they'll populate in the space on screen, and then the guest will be able to like pick their favorite. So yeah. So we'll consider the question. Chat will start thinking about who their what their thing is. Yeah. So, and maybe the questions will get spicier too. That's the thought. These aren't. I think I think we're on mild salsa mode tonight, but I think it could get a little bit more intense.
Yeah, because I am bad at answering stuff. It takes time to think properly.
So that's pretty silly.
At least for me.
It seems pretty silly. Let me give you another question.
I gotta think of another one.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't me who done silly stuff. It's usually me who see the silly stuff.
Okay. Keep that in mind. What's your greatest fear? Truth or chat?
Oh. What was it? Let's see. What am I scared of? There was definitely something I'm really scared of. It wasn't heights. Although it kind of is heights.
It's heights. Heights is reasonable.
Kinda. But there was a bigger one. My greatest fear, I guess it would probably be being canceled on Twitter. That is definitely a fear I have, and every time I think about it, it makes me cry.
Oh, so this is a bad game for you, then. Because this is the game where...
No!
Sorry.
My bad. So you're telling me this game is my greatest fear, technically, in a certain way?
I suppose that is what we were saying, yes.
Oh no! Don't get me canceled on Twitter. Oh.
All right. So let's get you another question here.
I am too immune for this stuff. That's actually the weird thing. People keep saying my brain is so innocent and stuff, and I ask how and why, and then I think I understand why. It's not just innocent as in the other way. I
All
meant
right,
innocent as in I could be weird, or I don't
you
know.
ready? We got another one. You ready? What's the weirdest place you've ever used the bathroom, so to speak?
I'm
Truth or
probably gonna have
chat?
to put. I'm probably gonna have to put this to chat.
Yeah.
I
All right.
haven't really been to a weird place before. Only school, Walmart, and that's it.
Okay.
And home.
Okay. It's cool.
Mm.
That's I definitely had to deal with the side of the road on a road trip before.
Oh yeah. I remember like because the thing is when I was homeless back in the day, my family we had to be split. Basically, it was
Mm.
me and my sister. It's like I don't know. It's like I said, it gets really complicated and personal with this one. But yeah, my younger sister actually, or my parents used to like use the bathroom on the road as well. So it was understandable. But that was at the time of
That's
that. But
it's a thing. It's a thing for
yeah.
sure.
Luckily, I didn't have to, but you know.
Okay. Cool. The let's do another. And we don't have too many here. We don't have too many. It's
Yeah.
pretty. And we might start
I'm
running into
too immune to
repeats.
these questions. Probably lack of experience.
Don't worry about it. You're doing great. You're doing great here.
Yay. Right, chat? I have lack of experience.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. You can always give another one to the chatters.
Huh.
Celebrity crush. We kind of did that one for sure. We did that one.
Markiplier.
Oh, what a babe!
Definitely.
What a babe!
Yeah, he hot.
um. Okay. What's the dumbest purchase you've made?
Mmm. A dumb person
Uh-oh. I'm losing internet again.
in 2020, 2020, I think? Or something?
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I actually don't know. I usually just buy tech stuff. I know there was like one thing I bought that was a mistake, but I don't remember its name. It was a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Probably a
I
chat thing. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. I don't have much experience on this. I'm like, I don't know.
Kana,
It's
you're
like
so
I'm
you're
like
very innocent. It is refreshing to see that in the world.
everyone calls me innocent.
No, 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 no. Like, we need more people like this. This is totally fine. We need more people like you. It's totally good. The All right. So, the dumbest purchase I've made, I'm trying to think about this, is like, shoot, I'm trying to think. I thought I had an answer for my own self here. Man, gosh, okay. You want to hear one from me? Here's one from me. So I was in a shoe store, and I found out that at the shoe store, you can, like they had a situation where if you like spent, let's say, like $100 or something like that, then you would end up getting about $5 back. So for like the next time you shopped there. So I asked the lady at the counter, can I just, can I spend that money now? Like as soon as I'm done, can I come right back with my $5 coupon? And she was like, sure. So then I bought $100 worth of shoes, and I immediately turned back. I immediately turned back into the aisle where they had all the little tchotchkes they sell, and I found a Mario Kart Hot Wheels that was like $4.50 or something. And then I immediately went back with my $5 and like just bought a little Mario Hot Wheels and just that was it. There we go. That was a silly purchase of mine. It wasn't an unwise purchase, I suppose, but I definitely, like, it would have been dumb if I like spent $100 on shoes to like get the thing. Connor, are you hanging in there? Okay.
What? My is confused. Yeah, that's confusing. $100.
Yeah, $100 for shoes.
For
I got 2
Mario
pairs of shoes. I did great. And I got a
And
little
then
Mario.
Mario shoes.
No, I didn't get Mario shoes. I got a Mario Kart Hot Wheels. Well, Hot Wheels toy.
Oh.
Little cart.
Well, you know what? As long as you enjoy those shoes, I think that's perfectly fine. But that's weird.
They're terrible shoes. I don't wear them.
Oh, ew. That's disgusting.
They weren't terrible. I just didn't. They're just the kind of shoes that have specific applications. And shoes are like that. All right.
I honestly don't know what dumb purchase I made. All I bought pretty much as an adult. I mean, I know my parents sometimes make dumb purchases before, but that's just them. That happens because that's you.
Well, they're not on our interview tonight, so
no. But for me, I only buy tech stuff. That's about it. And sometimes I'll buy accidental tech parts, but that's like not really that dumb. It's like something I experiment with, So it's like I don't. Yeah, no, I haven't.
I did buy a Rock Band Pro controller because Fofamit told me that it would be a good idea because then I could mocap it. What? That was kind of
a super mouse?
A Rock Band controller, a guitar.
A Rock Band.
A MIDI guitar.
Yeah. I heard about MIDI devices. Those sound fun.
Yeah. But I spent like $100 to get a 10-year-old Wii Rock Band guitar. So I'm supposed to be able to use that for mocap. We'll see how it goes, but I don't know about it. So far it's not looking so good. All right, let's how about we do one more of these, and then I think we'll cut a little short because the internet's just giving us a pretty hard time.
Yeah, and also I'm not really the best at answering questions.
Well, you can throw to chat. And
I mean, I've been throwing it to chat. I've been actually trying to answer these questions, but it's like
I wish I was.
It's like I haven't experienced it, or it's like I have a bad answer because it's like I don't know. It's like I haven't experienced it.
So
I'm only
okay.
18. I'm only 18, about to be 19. I don't know much stuff.
All right, don't worry. There's lots of life left to live. You're gonna be just fine. Let's get you back to the wheel here. Let's see if we can find you a good one to go out on.
Please.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. See what we got. Come on, wheel.
We'll be good.
We'll be good. What's the most controversial thing about you?
My ethnicity.
What? Wait.
What? I don't know. I thought I was trying to be too hot about it, but I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know, Chad. I'm sorry. Maybe that was a little too much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You're fine. I just didn't know what you meant.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me, Twitter. I'm sorry. No,
I don't believe in controversial ethnicities. I think that's everyone's.
No, because there are. Because I've been seeing lately, there were some people on Twitter who were actually being quite controversial to Spanish people recently. So I was saying, like, is it my ethnicity, for example? Because I thought, that was happening. I was like, I won't get deep into it though, but that's what I saw on Twitter recently, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you saying this stuff about Spanish people? And I'm Spanish. I don't know. So that's why I said ethnicity, because I was like, is that controversial? Because Twitter has an issue.
No,
but honestly, I don't know.
Kana, look, I'm just gonna give it to you straight here. You're allowed to be Spanish. Like you're fine. Like I'm reverse canceling you for this.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're totally good. So obviously, we got a few kinks to work out with the game, but you did well. You stuck it out. You answered the question. We found out that Markiplier is a little ooh la la, and
Markiplier.
Thank you for indulging this very weird, very silly game. And thanks for coming on. Thank you for giving us both your history as an artist, but then also like such a really great summary of like what VTuber tech is and has been and where it's going. So I appreciate you. I think you're doing really great work, and more people need to know about what you're doing. You can follow Kana on YouTube, which is a great place to find. Just go type in Kana Fuyuko.
Tutorials.
Yeah. Go check out all the tutorials that she has over there. Look at her cool examples that she has with mocap and her toggles and all the different things that she's got going on. Thank you for the link, Wolf. That's the end of our show tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out on another Virtual Woody Variety Show.